Today we discuss Module 2 from the course book, and the topic is the sentence, word order, and sentence pattern. What is word order? Word order refers to the way words are arranged in a sentence. The basic word order of an English sentence is subject plus predicate. What is the subject? The subject is the doer of an action, or it is a person, place, or a thing, or an idea about which something is said. And predicate is that part of the sentence other than the subject. Now let's look at a sentence. The sun rises in the east. In this sentence, the sun rises in the east. The subject is the sun, and rises in the east is the predicate. The predicate is the part of the sentence that tells something about the subject. The predicate always includes the verb, so subject plus predicate word order can be broken down into smaller pieces like this: subject plus verb, or subject plus verb plus object. So the basic word order in English sentence is subject plus verb plus object. That is, Raju wrote a letter. Raju wrote a letter. Raju is the subject, wrote is the verb, a letter is the object. Raju wrote a letter. So it is subject plus verb plus object. To determine the proper sequence of words, one should understand what the subject, verb, and objects are. Subject is typically a noun or pronoun denoting a person, place, or thing. For example, John loves Mary. John is the subject. Verb in a sentence is the action or state of being. In the sentence, John loves Mary, loves is the verb, it's an action. And object is the word or group of words influenced by the verb. To identify a direct object, ask what or whom the verb is doing. Most English sentences or clauses conform to the yes, we, o word order. Yes is subject, we is verb, and o is object. This means that the subject comes before the verb, which comes before the object. Example, he bought a car. The word order of this sentence is subject, verb, object, or yes, we, o. She doesn't like cats. The word order is subject, verb, object. Why did you call me? The word order is subject, verb, object. Why did you call me? You call me is the very essential words in this sentence, and you is the subject, call is the verb, and me is the object. And in a question, why did you call me, has the structure or word order S, V, O. Now let us discuss word order in indirect object. Sometimes there will be direct object and indirect object in sentences. we are discussing the word order in sentences having indirect object. Word order of the indirect object is important in English. The indirect object usually comes right before the direct object, except when used with preposition to. To identify an indirect object as to whom or what or for whom or what the direct object is intended. When an indirect object I is added to the sentence, the word order depends on many conditions. Number one, on whether direct object and indirect objects are nouns or pronouns, and number two, on whether the indirect object is preceded by the word to. Here are the basic rules: subject, verb, object, indirect object, word order. The indirect object comes after the direct object when it is formed with the preposition to. When it is placed here, it is called the object of the preposition, and we have that structure of SVOI, subject, verb, object, indirect object in the following sentences. He gave the car to his friends. He, subject, gave, verb, the car, object, to his friends, indirect object. He gave what? The car. He gave to whom? His friends. So subject plus, verb plus, object plus, indirect object. He gave it to them. He is the subject, gave is the verb, it is the object, to them is the indirect object, and the word order is subject plus, verb plus, object plus, indirect object. He gave it to his friends. He gave it to his friends. Subject plus, verb plus, object plus, indirect object. Now, let us look at another word order, and that word order is subject plus, verb plus, indirect object plus, object. The indirect object comes before the direct object when to is not used. For example, he gave his friends the car. He is the subject, gave is the verb, his friends indirect object, and the car object. He gave what gives the answer, object. He gave the car. He gave the car to whom? His friends. So the word order is subject plus verb plus indirect object plus object. Another sentence with the same pattern is he gave them it. Subject plus verb plus indirect object plus object. Another sentence, he gave them the car. Subject plus verb plus indirect object plus the car object. Now we have some exercises in page number 96. Let us understand the exercise and let us do it. This type of exercises will come for examination. Identify the word order in the following sentences. He likes computer games. He is the subject, likes is the verb, computer games is the object, and the word order is SVO. His father gave him a smartphone. The pattern is the word order is subject plus, verb plus, indirect object plus object. His father is the subject, gave is the verb, him is the indirect object, what, that is of course a smartphone, is the object. Now we have the third one. Sheila gave a bag to her mother. Subject plus verb plus direct object plus indirect object. Now the fourth one, Mohan showed his marks to them. The word order is subject plus verb plus object plus indirect object. Mohan subject, showed verb, his marks object, to them indirect object. They play football, subject plus verb plus object. He wrote his parents a letter, subject plus verb plus indirect object plus direct object or object. Number 7, we donated books to the poor children, subject plus verb plus object plus indirect object. Rohan visited his friends, subject plus verb plus object. Veena's parents gifted her a laptop, subject plus verb, subject plus verb plus indirect object plus object. Veena's parents together is the subject, gifted is the verb, her is the indirect object, a laptop is the object or direct object. Number 10, Mark read Maria the book. Mark is the subject, read is the verb, Maria is the indirect object, and the book is the object. Now we have another word order, that is inverted verb subject word order. That is, sometimes we come across sentences where the inverted verb, or that is verb, is of course the subject. Say for example, in a sentence that begins with a clause beginning with a gerund or verb ing form, a sentence can reflect the word order gerund plus object followed by the main clause. Say for example, finishing the work, the workers went home. Finishing the work, finishing the work, the workers went home. The word finishing is a gerund and it can be just considered a verb. So finishing the work is of course the object, and the workers went home. Workers is subject and went is verb and home object. So here we have the word order, verb subject word order, inverted verb subject word order, inverted word order. All right. And next, sentences beginning with there plus verb plus subject. There are 7 members in the family. There are 7 members in the family. Now sentences beginning with it plus verb plus subject. It was an easy question. Now we have another word order, that is sentences beginning with place expressions plus intransitive verb. Next to the theater is my house. Next to the theater is my home or house. Next to the theater is the subject, and it is of course a phrase beginning with a place next to the theater. Is the verb, my home is the part of the verb phrase. So it is place expression plus an intransitive verb. Now we have another word order. Sentences beginning with negative words like never, no sooner than, scarcely, barely, hardly, rarely, seldom, etc. will follow the negative word plus verb plus subject word order. Example, not only did he win the race, but also got the record. Never have I experienced such a threat. It is negative word plus verb plus subject. Now, conditional sentences can follow two patterns. If plus statement, if I were rich, I would have bought a ship. Now we have another pattern. Auxiliary verb plus subject plus rest of the clause. Were I rich, I would have bought a ship. Now let's look at the word order in questions. In English, there are three types of question words: interrogative pronouns who, whom, what, and which; interrogative determiners which, what, or whose followed by a noun; interrogative adverbs where, why, and how. Questions with question words follow the pattern: question word plus verb plus subject plus rest of the sentence. For example, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is a question per word? Are is a verb. You is the subject. Doing is the rest of the sentence, and the word order is question word plus verb plus subject plus rest of the sentence. Now we have the second word order in questions. Verbal questions follow the pattern auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb plus the remaining part of the sentence. Have you played well? Have you played well? Auxiliary verb is have, you is the subject, played is the verb, and well is the remaining part of the sentence. Do you know English? Do is the auxiliary verb, you is the subject, know is the verb, French is the very remaining part of the sentence. Does she like coffee? Does is the auxiliary verb, she is the subject, likes is the verb, and coffee is the object or rest of the sentence. Now let's look at the word order in adjectives. Let's understand what adjectives are. Adjectives are words that describe nouns. There are many adjectives in English. Here are a few: happy, sad, funny, blue, large, quiet, pretty, free, green, simple. We can make sentences more descriptive by adding adjectives to describe the sentence, subjects, and objects in a sentence. The position of adjective in a sentence is determined by its use, such as when the adjective is used attributively, it comes before the noun that they describe. The beautiful girl sang a melodious song. The beautiful girl sang a melodious song. The girl is the noun, and it is modified by, it is described by beautiful, and the adjective comes before the girl, and we can say that it is used attributively. The beautiful girl sang a melodious song, and song is again described by melodious, and these two adjectives, beautiful and melodious, are used attributively. Now the next example: the studious children listen to the dedicated teacher. Look at that. Children is one noun. It's described by studious. The studious children listen to the dedicated teacher. Teacher is another noun. It's described by dedicated. So we have two more adjectives here, and these two adjectives, studious and dedicated, are used attributively. When the adjective is used predicatively, it comes after the noun. When they are used after a verb such as be, become, grow, look, or seem, they are called predicative. Example: the cat was black. In this sentence, the adjective is black, and it is modifying the cat. It is the noun. The cat is the noun. The noun cat is modified by or described by black, but the adjective is after the verb was, and we can say that the adjective is used predicatively. The cat was black. Now, another example, the future looks gloomy. Another example, the journey seemed slow. Now we have another kind of adjectives which is called cumulative adjectives. Cumulative adjectives are adjectives that just describe nouns, like we have maybe more than one adjective to describe one noun. Let us look at a few examples and more details of cumulative adjectives. When we use more than one adjective to describe a noun, the adjectives are either cumulative or coordinative. In the case of cumulative adjectives, we follow a certain order such as quantity, opinion, size, age, color, shape, origin, material, and purpose. So we have a noun modified or described by many adjectives, and such adjectives are called cumulative adjectives. And the order, adjective of quantity comes initially, then opinion, then adjective of size, adjectives of age, color, shape. So this is the order of cumulative adjectives. And we have sentence, he owned two big black American cars. He owned cars. And we have one, two, three, four adjectives. He owned two big black American cars. So cars, the noun is modified by the adjectives two big black American. And this expression or use of more than one adjective to describe a noun is known as cumulative adjective. Another example, he placed four big green garden chairs in the park. He placed four big green garden chairs in the park. So here we have chairs, and the chairs are described by four big green garden. Okay, he placed chairs in the park. What's special about the chairs? They are garden chairs, they are green chairs, they are big chairs, and they are four in number. So, cumulative adjectives. In the case of coordinative adjectives, we don't follow any order and they have different punctuation rules. When there are two or more adjectives that are from the same group, the word and is placed between two adjectives. Example, the house is big and tall. The library has old and new books. When there are three or more adjectives from the same adjective group, place a comma between each of the coordinate adjectives. We have a big, tall, and cute dog in our house. My friend had a red, black, and white sari. Adjectives after link verbs. We use some adjectives after a link verb. Some linking verbs like become, appear, seem, be, appear will be followed by adjectives to describe the subject. Some verbs like taste, feel, smell, look, appear can also function as linking verbs. For example, the story seems good. She looks tired. Now let us discuss the exercises in page number 98. We bought, within bracket, gray, a metal wardrobe, which is the order of adjectives. We bought a gray metal wardrobe. We bought a gray metal wardrobe. Number two, she owns, within bracket, red, a new dress. She owns a new red dress. Number three, after his retirement, he used to sit on, within bracket, comfortable, his wooden old chair. Answer, after his retirement, he used to sit on his comfortable wooden chair. I'm sorry. After his retirement, he used to sit on his old, his comfortable old wooden chair. After his retirement, he used to sit on his comfortable old wooden chair. Number four, he bought, within bracket, linen, a Indian fabulous shirt. He bought a fabulous Indian linen shirt. He bought a fabulous Indian linen shirt. Number five, they have, within bracket, costly, rare handicrafts at home. Answer, they have costly, rare handicrafts at home. Number six, grandmother made delicious grandmother made, within brackets, some Italian delicious really pasta. So the answer, grandmother made some really delicious Italian pasta. Grandmother made some really delicious Italian pasta. Number seven, dash, within bracket, a young, a pretty woman presented the show. Answer, a pretty young woman presented the show. Number eight, the teacher showed us, within bracket, a lot of old interesting books. The teacher showed us a lot of old interesting books. Rather, a teacher showed us a lot of interesting old books. Number nine, father bought, within bracket, plastic red, a new toy car for me. Father bought a new red plastic car for me. Father bought a new red plastic toy car for me. Number 10, he lost his dash watch, within bracket, leather, stylish, a black watch. Answer, he lost his stylish black leather watch. He lost his stylish black leather watch. Now let's look at word order in adverbs. An adverb describes or gives more information about a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even an entire sentence. There are many adverbs in English. Here are a few. Yesterday, quickly, really, heavily, fast, sometimes, hard, suddenly, today, to, never, very. Let's look at sentences in which we have adverbs. Number one, the teacher called the students loudly. Another sentence, today the teacher taught English in the class. Now let us look at Another example. Yesterday, the teacher quickly finished the portions. Now, in all these sentences, we have adverbs. Let us understand the word order in adverbs. Adverbs and adverb phrases can be placed in three places in sentences. Number one, at the front of the sentence before the subject. Yesterday, the teacher taught the students. Number two, at the end of the sentence after the object. The students will take the test tomorrow. Number three, in the middle of a sentence before or after the verb or in the middle of a group of verbs. Number one, before the verb. She often studies before the class. Often studies. She often studies. Number two, after the verb. The student works quietly at her desk. Works quietly. The student works quietly. In the middle of a group of verbs, the teacher will quickly teach the students. Quickly is the adverb. The teacher will quickly teach the students. Adverbs are usually placed near the verb that they modify. There are many types of adverbs in English. Each type of adverbs have their own rules for placement in a sentence. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner tell us how an action is done or happens. They answer the following question: how, well, quickly, softly, loudly, beautifully are some of the adverbs of manner. They are usually placed after the main verb or after the object in a sentence. After the main verb, she sings well, she sings loudly. After the object, she sings the song well, she sings the song loudly. An adverb of manner cannot be placed between a verb and its direct object. The adverb must be placed before the verb or at the end of the clause. She cleans the house quickly. She quickly cleans the house. But it is wrong to say she cleans quickly the house. That's wrong. When there is a preposition before the verb's object, place the adverb of manner either before the preposition, before the verb, or after the object. Before the preposition, she listened secretly to their conversation. Tom climbed weakly out of bed. Before the verb, she secretly listened to their conversation. Tom weakly climbed out of bed. After the object, she listened to their conversation secretly. Tom climbed out of bed weakly. Adverbs of place show us the location of the action or state. They answer the question where. Examples: home, here, there, outside, inside, away. Adverbs of place are usually placed after the main verb or at the end of the clause they modify. After the main verb, he ran home. He ran outside to his car. He ran everywhere with his mom. At the end of the clause, he ran all the way home. He ran to his car outside by the garage. He ran with his mom everywhere. Here are, here and there are special adverbs of place. They have special rules. The winner is here. Put the book over there. She walks there every morning. Here and there can also be placed at the beginning of a sentence to add emphasis. If the subject of the sentence is a noun, here and there are followed by a verb. Here is the winner. There goes our car. In both these sentences, the subject of the sentence is a noun. The winner is here. Our car goes there. So the word here and there are used in front of the verb. Here is the winner. There goes our car. If the subject of the sentence is a pronoun, here and there are followed by the pronoun. Here she is. There it is. Adverbs of frequency show us the rate of the action or state. They answer the question how often. Examples: always, never, sometimes, often, rarely, usually, occasionally. Adverbs of frequency are usually placed before the main verb but after the auxiliary verbs. Nick usually washes the dishes. Nick usually washes the dishes. The adverb is placed before the main verb. Nick usually washes the dishes. We often meet to chat. We meet to chat. We often meet to chat. Often is used between subject and the verb. Before the main verb, but after the auxiliary verb. She has sometimes asked for my advice. She has asked for my advice. She has sometimes asked for my advice. We have rarely talked on the phone. Nick will never make $1 million. When the main verb is to be, the adverb is placed after the main verb. I am always happy. Is usually here on time. They are occasionally late. Some adverbs of frequency can also be placed at the beginning or end of a sentence to add emphasis. Occasionally, they are late. They are late occasionally. Sometimes I like children. I like children sometimes. Adverbs of time show us the time of the action or state. They answer the question when. No, now, sooner, later, yesterday, tomorrow are adverbs of time. Adverbs of time creates emphasis in a sentence. They are commonly put at the end of a sentence, but they can be placed at the beginning of a sentence to emphasize the time. I will study now. Now I will study. The time is very important when you say, now I will study. Adverbs of purpose or reason are words that tell us the reason the action is happening. They answer the question why. Why? Adverbs of purpose may be in the form of an individual word or in the form of closest group of words like therefore, hence, because, so, thus. She thus opened the door, applying little visible force. He therefore does not want to talk to me. We are in page number 101. There are certain exceptions. Certain adverbs, notably short adverbs of frequency or time, can be placed between the auxiliary and main verb, as in statements. In questions, these adverbs are placed between the subject and the main verb. Has he yet sent us the mail? What sort of hats do the ladies usually wear? Adverbs of degree show us the strength or degree of the action or state. They answer the questions how much, to what degree. Example: very, highly, totally, perfectly, partially. Adverbs of degree are usually placed before the adjective, adverb, or verb that they modify. She is totally finished. She is a perfectly happy girl. There are exceptions to this rule. The words too, in now, very, and extremely are examples of adverbs of degree. They have their own rules. The adverb to has two meanings. To meaning also. To meaning excessively. Let us look at some examples in which to means also. She is happy too. Do you want to go to? Here, to means also. It is placed at the end of the clause it modifies, often at the end of the sentence. Now, to means excessively. It is placed before the adjective or adverb it modifies. The ice cream is too sweet, very sweet, excessively sweet. He is too short, he is very short, excessively short. The adverb very means extremely or really. Very is placed before the adjective or adverb it modifies to make its meaning stronger. I'm very tired. She is very short. When there is more than one adverb in a sentence describing a verb, they usually go in this order: manner, place, location, frequency, time, reason, or purpose. Dad walks impatiently home every evening after work. Now we have exercise at the bottom of page 101. Let us just discuss the exercise. Rewrite the following sentences after adding the given adverb in an appropriate place. Number one, at once is the adverb given. We have to use at once. And understand that at once in this sentence can be used in the beginning or after the subject. Example, the politician realized his value. The politician at once realized his value. Or at once the politician realized his value. Or it could even be the politician realized his value at once. Number two, my girlfriend forgot my birthday within bracket completely. And completely can be used in this sentence. My girlfriend completely forgot my birthday. My girlfriend forgot my birthday completely. Number three, your car just needs some repair. Your car just needs some repair. Number four, he got dressed within bracket in a hurry. He got dressed in a hurry. Number five, she got dressed within bracket quickly. She quickly got dressed. She got quickly dressed. She got dressed quickly. We have three ways of using this adverb. Number six, we have finished the work. Almost is the adverb. We have almost finished the work. Number seven, I could solve the mystery. Within bracket adverb never. I could never solve the mystery. Or it could even be I never could solve the mystery. Number eight, could you switch the light within bracket off? Could you switch off the light? Could you switch the light off? Two ways. Number nine, we are invited to attend meetings within bracket often. Often we are invited to attend meetings. We are often invited to attend meetings. And last question, use the adverb usually in the sentence. We play in the park. Usually we play in the park. We usually play in the park. We play in we play usually in the park. We play in the park usually. These are all correct. With that, we come to the end of this section. And in section 2, we have coordination and subordination. Let us discuss coordination and subordination right now. Coordination and subordination are two processes of making sentences. And let us understand what is coordination. When two related ideas of equal importance in two or more clauses or sentences are joined together, it is called coordination. A coordinate sentence, also known as a compound sentence, consists of two or more independent clauses joined either by a semicolon or by a comma working in concert with a coordinating conjunction. What are coordinating conjunctions? To join two independent clauses, coordinating conjunctions are used. The most common coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Please remember that a comma precedes the coordinating conjunction when joining two clauses except with and. Now we have some examples, and in these examples we will see independent clauses and coordinating conjunctions. I will go to the mall is independent clause number 1. Independent clause number 2, I'll spend time with my friends. Now let us combine these two independent clauses into a compound sentence. I will go to the mall and I will enjoy with my friends. And we have used the coordinating conjunction and. Now let us use the coordinating conjunction but. Independent clause number 1, I went there to meet him. Independent clause number 2, he was not there. Combine these to make a compound sentence. I went there to meet him, but he was not there. Independent clause number 3, he won't do that now. Independent clause number next independent clause, he won't do it later. Let's combine it with nor and make a compound sentence. He won't do that now, nor would he do it later. Okay, now we will move forward to the exercises in page number 103. Exercise number 1. Dash, does she like tea? Dash, coffee. Neither does she like tea nor coffee. Next exercise. Tom's family went to the circus. Dash, they didn't get the ticket. Tom's family went to the circus, but they didn't get the ticket. She was cooking. Dash, listening to the music at the same time. She was cooking and listening to the music at the same time. I tried to repair my laptop. Dash, I couldn't do it. I tried to repair my laptop, but I couldn't do it. He is illiterate. Dash, he is very polite. He's illiterate, but he is very polite. Number 6, it's a holiday. Dash, some officers come to the office. It's a holiday, but some officers come to the office. Number 7, work hard. Dash, you will fail. Work hard or you will fail. Number 8, I couldn't attend the marriage. Dash, I was busy with my work. I couldn't attend the marriage for I was busy with my work. Number 9. The COVID pandemic may end, dash it will stay the same for some more years. The COVID pandemic may end, but it will stay the same for some more years. Number 10. He should dash pay his fine, dash fight the case. He should either pay his fine or fight the case. Now let's understand what subordination is. When two related ideas of unequal importance are joined together, it is called subordination. When we want to communicate the idea, that one idea in a sentence is more important than the other in the same sentence, we use subordination. The more important idea is put in as an independent clause and the less important is put in as a dependent clause. Example, he couldn't write the exam because he was ill. In this sentence, the main clause is he couldn't write the exam and the subordinate clause is he was ill. It is connected to the main clause with the subordinating conjunction because, and it explains the reason of doing the action in the main clause. Now we have to discuss subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunction is a word that conjoins a subordinate dependent clause to a main or independent clause. Okay, now let us look at the examples. Though he was ill, he could write the exam. Main clause is he could write the exam. Subordinating clause is though he was ill, and though is a subordinating conjunction of concession. Himalaya is a sacred place where we can find so many powerful sadhus. Himalaya is a sacred place is the independent clause. Where we can find so many powerful sadhus is the dependent clause. And we have used the subordinating conjunction where, which is a subordinating conjunction of place. I couldn't come for the wedding because I had pneumonia. I couldn't come for the wedding is the main clause. Subordinating clause is because I had pneumonia. And we have combined the subordinating clause and the main clause with the subordinating conjunction of reason. I couldn't come for the wedding because I had pneumonia. Everyone in the hall was staring at me as if I have done something wrong. Everyone in the hall was staring at me is the independent clause. As if is the subordinating conjunction and it is a subordinating conjunction of manner. Everyone in the hall was staring at me as if I have done something wrong. Now, the next sentence. If we know how to stay healthy, we don't have to worry about the pandemic. Independent clause is we don't have to worry about the pandemic. And the subordinating conjunction is if, and the subordinating clause is if we know how to stay healthy. The complex sentence is if we know how to stay healthy, we don't have to worry about the pandemic. Now, the next sentence. At the party, after the party, we all went home. We all went home is the independent clause. After the party is the dependent clause. And after is a subordinating conjunction of time. After the party, we all went home. Now we have the exercises in page number 104. Let us solve this exercise. Sentence 1. I wanted to see Golden Temple. Dash, I go to Punjab. I wanted to see Golden Temple. In order that I go to Punjab. Number 2, she could not attend the meeting. Dash, she came early. She could not attend the meeting though she came early, or she could not attend the meeting although she came early. Number 3, I play computer games. Dash or not, you give me the internet connection. I play computer games if or not you give me the internet connection. Dash, you play well, you will get the prize. If you play well, you will get the prize. Number 5, he is dash brave, dash that everyone respects him. Is so brave that everyone respects him. Number 6, I work hard, dash, I want to retain my job. I'll work hard because I want to retain my job. Number 7, dash, you study well, you can't pass the test. Unless you study well, you can't pass the test. Number 8, I'll call you, dash, I know more about it. I'll call you when I know more about it. Number 9, my mom buys chocolate for me, dash, I come home. My mom buys chocolate for me when I come home, or my mom buys chocolate for me before I come home. Number 10, you should better start study, dash, it is too late. You should better start study before it is too late. With that, we come to the end of the discussion of this section on sentence, that is compound sentence and complex sentence, or coordination and subordination. And with it, we end this session. Next session, we are looking at a question paper. We will be discussing the question paper in detail. That is third semester BA degree examination November 2020 question paper, English grammar and usage. The entire question paper, all the questions will be read out, and the answers will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you all for listening. May you have a wonderful day. May God bless you.